was funny about that. I actually thought, I don't know how long it takes to get from where you live to here. I thought it took like right at an hour. And we were somewhere else whenever you texted me. It was like, hey, I'm on my way.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, okay. But I did. It wasn't just getting home that I had to do. I had to get home and I had to take steaks out, cook steaks, and then I ate my steak like super fast. And then I got a message saying, hey, I'm here.
Yeah, no rush, bro. Anytime you got to do something, just do it. Like,
I did.
Yeah.
I did it all.
But don't rush it. You got to rush. Life is life, man.
I perform much better whenever there's a timeline.
So, like, even in, certain situations, timeline, you just got to perform, huh?
Yeah.
Are we recording?
You
Bastard. Call you Kenneth.
Oh, it's not that bad. Hey, Kenneth came in clutch on the last one. You weren't here, and he himself did a dad joke.
Yes! I haven't been here. I missed the last 2 episodes. We missed an episode, so it's been a month since I've recorded.
It feels like it's been a really long time since I've seen you.
I don't like it, man. I've missed out on too much. It's like my child is growing without me, and I don't like it.
Yeah, or sometimes you just got to do double shifts at work and then sleep when you can. And, if you see or if you miss a new step or a new word or a new thing, it's just part of life sometimes. The point is you do your best to be here.
Yeah, I do, and then sometimes it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is. I got a new tattoo.
Talk to me about this tattoo.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
It's dope. You know what it's from?
I don't. But I was
from an anime.
Yeah, I figured it was because I was looking at pictures of it online earlier, and I was like, what the heck is it from?
Yeah, it's from Naruto.
Is it?
Yeah.
See, my wife would know exactly what that is, I'm sure.
It's a cool cat.
She is a cool cat.
You'll have to show her later or whatever, because I'll have to get home. But, no, it's from Naruto. It's called a curse mark. Well, the middle piece is a curse mark, and then it's a release. So it's releasing from the curse mark. Gives them, like, extra power, basically. There's more to it than that, but it's like gives them more power, basically. It's like a power-up, in a way. But also really hurts them at first. Anyway, I don't know. It's cool. I like it. And some people have not liked it. But most people have liked it. People I didn't even know liked anime, like from high school.
Went out of their way to let you know how awesome that was.
Yeah, like someone I haven't talked to in like, I don't know, 2 or 3 years, if not more. Like, he messaged me on Instagram. He was like, hey, bro, awesome tattoo. I just started Boruto. And I was like, dude, I didn't even know you liked anime. He was like, I just got into it. It's pretty cool. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's like, back in the day in high school, you would make fun of the people who watched anime, and now you're one of those people.
I'm telling you, people change.
People do change, man, and anime is like, it's kind of a growing thing.
Yeah.
It's like more mainstream now.
Well, it's funny. I think everything has its time, right? So, I know me and Kenneth have talked about this multiple times, but like, the geeks, whenever we were in school, they were not cool.
No.
Being smart with technology now is like one of the coolest things that you can be.
Oh, yeah.
It's just...
you get paid a lot of money to know it, too, so that's a plus.
Yeah, that's the thing. It is now cool to be, for lack of a better term, geeky and like pursuing like all of this stuff, all the tech and the software and all of that.
Absolutely, I would 100% agree. And
anime is one of those things, though.
Dude, it is, man.
It has infiltrated the United States.
Oh yeah, like they just released a new movie, new Dragon Ball movie actually in theaters. Man. Dragon Ball is Dragon Ball superhero. Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird one. I haven't watched it, and I really wasn't too interested. And then I saw some spoilers. Like, okay, now I'm kind of curious.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know, the premise of it the original trailer threw me off like super hard.
So who's he going after? Give me some plot line. Do you know about it?
The plot line is so Goku and Vegeta aren't even like main characters in this one.
Okay.
It's all about Gohan and Piccolo mostly, from what I've seen in the trailers and kind of spoilers a little bit.
Okay.
The Red Ribbon Army's back. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
But Goku destroyed them when he was a child.
Yeah, you would think. But then, you got to think about it. Dr. Gero was back with the androids and stuff. That was part of the Red Ribbon a little bit.
Yeah.
But apparently they're back again. Like they have like their whole army and everything, and like there's like 2 super bosses, and then spoiler alert, they made a new version of Cell. And
is it better?
I haven't really watched it. I've seen like a spoiler, like he's like super big, and apparently in the movie they make a comment where even if Goku and Vegeta were, here, they probably still would have lost. So, well, the only way they beat him is they made a wish to Shenron and got Piccolo like super powered or some shit, like god level powered, and I don't know. I'm curious to how it all goes down. I've only seen like spoilers. I haven't watched it.
Is this gonna be what is that, canon?
Yeah. So it's part of canon because it has the super tag on it.
Yeah.
It's Dragon Ball Super. You know how they had the Dragon Ball Super. Kenneth is gonna hate this episode.
GT. Yeah, we have this GT, which is not canon.
GT's not canon. Just think about it.
He's like, what am I watching?
He's gonna start editing this, and he's like, I hate these guys so much. He's like, I lost this episode.
Well, he's not here.
Yeah, screw him.
It's on him.
We talk about what we want. This
right.
might be a new thing. We just do an anime podcast. I like it. I'm all about it.
Hey, I'll start watching it more then.
Yeah, exactly. So they have GT, which is no longer canon, but I do love Super Saiyan 4. It's one of my favorite transformations.
Yeah.
Then they released Dragon Ball Super, which goes right after the Buu saga. Ties in pretty much directly. And then so Super's canon. Then they have Dragon Ball Super Broly.
See, I'm at Super. Mm-hmm. I haven't watched anything else.
That's fine.
Well, they've started like when they weren't really sure what they were gonna have be like canon and what wasn't gonna be canon, and they kind of plug stuff in or take stuff out. I was like, I really don't want to commit myself to like getting invested in a particular storyline or character or set of events, and then all of that doesn't really matter.
Yeah, all of Super's canon, so you're good.
Yeah.
And then everything, they've released 2 movies. The second movie they released, so Super Broly or Super Broly, I hate the way they word it, is canon, which is awesome. They bring back Broly, like the original non-canon movie, so it's canon now, which is awesome, and the movie's fantastic. Chris actually went and watched me with it, and she was like, it's just fighting the whole time. I was like, it's great.
It's the best.
It's the best. And so now they released this movie, which is also supposed to be canon. Now it's supposed to lead into the new series that they're going to be doing, which would be a continuation of the Super series. So I'm like, okay, I'm about it. So I'm gonna have to check it out just for the continuation. I like that part. This camera it's hitting my foot, man.
You keep messing with it.
I know, it keeps hitting my foot. This is the way I'm sitting, and it's on my foot. Kenneth. Super excited to use these, by the way.
It looks great.
Yeah.
It does.
Does it? I haven't seen it. And yeah, well, I haven't been here in a month, so.
You could just watch our episodes.
Yeah, I listen to them. I don't watch them.
Yeah.
I can go on YouTube and watch them.
Back and forth.
Oh, y'all started doing it already?
Yeah, so
damn it.
There's the first one that went out with the switcher on it was actually the We're No Experts was him and Garrett.
See, I just listen on Spotify when I'm driving to and from work.
Yeah. But
I used to watch it, and then I'll just listen to it.
So I always would put it on in the living room. But then again, I'm not really driving very often right now.
Yeah. When are you going back to work, man?
I go back to the doctor on the 8th.
Dude, it's going to be a whole new animal when you go back to work.
I know.
They're doing the whole transformation right now. I've seen the machines. It's like a different area. Yeah, good luck.
I'm not worried about it.
No, you're not. You're just going to have to do the whole training like everybody else.
Doesn't hurt my feelings one bit.
Nah.
I you know what? I'm actually excited about everybody pretty much resetting at 0.
They need it.
Because now I'm curious to see.
All the new people need it, bro.
Well, all the new people, but like all the vets have been vets for a reason. Mm-hmm. It's a easy muscle to flex when you're in your early 20s and you're like, hey, my mind's wide open. I can learn whatever I need to, and then it's locked in. Now, 50, 60-ish years of engineering's being ripped out, and then new engineering's being put in.
Yeah, now people have to actually prove themselves again.
Oh, I love it.
Which I think, I don't know how many people are actually going to be willing to. People hate change, man.
I love competition.
Oh, same.
See,
that's how I messed up my shoulder. Because it's a stupid softball tournament. I was like, I'm not letting, I got to go all out, even though I haven't swung a bat in
a decade.
Years.
A decade.
It's been more than 10 years.
Ooh.
It's been about 14 years, man. Because I've been graduated for almost 10. It's probably been about 12 then. I've almost been out of school for 10 years.
I've been out of school for 11.
Dude, we're old as hell.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it sucks.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't suck. It's not that bad.
It sucks. I hate it. I hate.
Yep. It only sucks if you don't have any plans to change it up.
Yeah, I mean,
because this is something I always think about. It's very interesting to me. So, like, if, for instance, you got into your house, like your home,
Mm-hmm.
you financed it out, you know, you have your perfect career and everything else. What is the difference from year 1 and year 30 of, like, you paying that house off? Like, if your life doesn't change, then...
well, that's the thing. Life forces you to change. One way or another, something's going to happen, and you're going to have to make some adjustments. For most people, I think.
That's true.
Like, having a kid, that changes everything.
That's true.
Having a second kid, again, changes everything.
But,
have I told you I have another kid on the way?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, guess what?
What?
We know the gender. We announced it to my family and her family, so it's good to say now.
Are you allowed to say it?
I am allowed to say it.
Oh, let's say
Oh,
it.
Kenneth's not here. I don't think I've told him yet either.
Well, he'll find out when he's editing it.
Yeah. Hey, Kenneth. Hey, bud. Hey, we're having a boy.
Woo!
We're having a boy. Let's go.
That's what I'm talking
Yes,
about.
sir.
Man.
That first Shaw boy, man.
There you go.
Super stoked.
I bet your dad is walking on air.
Oh yeah. He's pretty excited.
I got a grandson.
He's like, at least one of y'all know how to make a boy.
Oh, I love it.
Like, you're not wrong, Billy. It just I was figuring like 1 out of 4 has got to be a boy.
Hey, you're not gonna call him Little Bill, though, right?
Oh hell no! It needs to be Oliver.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I'm glad you do. My dad hates it.
Really?
He hates it.
There's a lot of older names coming back around.
Mm-hmm.
There's a buddy of mine that was a couple years younger than me. He had his first son like 3 years ago. Named him Otis.
Otis.
And I was like,
Jesus.
wow. I don't think I've read that name in a book that was printed less than 50 years ago. Otis.
Man, I haven't heard that name in forever, and I don't read, so that's saying something. But you want to know where I got the name from? I've had this name for 8 years or so in my mind that I wanted. It's going to be Oliver Grant.
Where did Oliver Grant come from?
So Oliver, the first name. This is when I came up with this name. The show Arrow was really like super popular.
Okay, yeah.
So Oliver Queen.
Yeah, I watched like the first 4 or 5 seasons of it.
Yeah, and I'm trying to finish. For whatever reason, I'm on the last season. I just can't get myself to do it. I mean, I know how it ends. Spoilers always get you, if you're not careful. I already know how it ends. So Oliver Queen is, he's the Green Arrow. So Oliver, I like that name. I was like, okay. And then Grant, same kind of robust, situation. The Flash, when it first came out, loved it. The actor who plays the Flash, his name is Grant Gustin.
There you go.
So I was like, man, I like both those names. That's Oliver Grant. It's unique. It's kind of different. It's not like out there, but it doesn't go along with the k sound that we have going along in our family. I mean, we switched that up with Aya.
Yeah.
You got to think about it. You got Cody, Katie, Colton, Carissa,
Yeah.
Corbin, Colby, Aya.
Yeah. They definitely changed it up.
Oh, yeah. Well,
lot.
we did it for a reason because, when you're around my dad, it don't mean to say this in any negative way. He gets their names he'll start saying Colby, but he'll say Corbin or Corbin. He just does it like that.
No.
It's what's the easiest way to differentiate it? That's how.
I don't think it really matters what the name is. I think, and maybe this is just me because I'm a couple years older than you, but at a certain point, your brain is
You're
just
acting
gonna.
like you're 60 years old.
But your brain's just gonna plug a name in. But here's the thing: I grew up in a house. There was me.
Yep.
So it's Jordan, Jesse, Justin, Jace, Jackson.
Ugh.
My dad's name's Jason.
Ugh.
My dad's name's Jason.
That kills me.
Okay. Couple J names.
I get it. I get why you would want to do that, but at the same time, I'm like, just change it up, man.
Yeah.
But I've always been the unique one in the family. I've been different, so.
I had 2 kids who have completely different names, and I still say the wrong name sometimes. And I'm like, I'm not even that old. It's because, you're so focused on the thing that the name that comes out's, not even important half the time. You're like,
sense.
oh, what am I doing? That's not your name.
I get it. I understand. But I'm always unique, and I'm different.
Oliver Grant. Your boy, you're going to get to tell him that almost his entire name came from comic book characters.
Superheroes, sir.
Super cool.
Your name's from superheroes. That's exactly how I'm going to put it. So
superheroes.
One day he's going to be like, Daddy, how'd you get my name? I'm like, well, son.
But see, comics is going to be cooler when you tell him because everything comes back and becomes popular again.
Yeah. Yeah. It might still be popular by then. I mean, I don't think it'll go to that lame stage like it used to be. I mean, it's always been like cool into certain people.
Yeah.
But then now it's like nowadays it's like it's huge. It's everywhere.
Oh, the thing is with comic books is people get into it for so many different reasons. You get into it because you see yourself in a character, or you get into it because you like a particular series, or you get into it because like this person's focal point is like really dark and morbid and you really enjoy that. Yeah. Or this person is literally using comic books like other people are buying and selling NFTs.
Yeah.
Like there's a market for comic books from so many different angles. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. It's awesome. And I love when you see people like super enthusiastic about it. Like you would have people back in the day in high school or something like, you know, talking about, you know, comics or whatever, and they kind of get made fun of, but they didn't change because that's something they were so like involved in and loved. Yeah. And now you see it kind of make it like they'll turn into a career in some way, shape, or form, and then like they become artists or like they'll, you know, make their own comic and stuff like that. I think stuff like that's super cool.
I actually went to school with someone who has made it big.
Exactly.
So he was a year older than me, and he worked at Bankston's for like ever, like literally up until a couple years ago. And Bankston's, you know, they provide a great service for our community because it's a comic book store. That's great, but they never really paid all that great. And all my buddies, like close people, were like, "Oh, it's a dead end job," or "Hey, you should do something different," or you know, "Have you considered other options?" You know, like everyone gives you crap because he was passionate about it, and that's why he stuck with it, and he stuck through it for, like I said, years. And you know, I think that was him more or less paying tribute to the comic book gods because like he ended up he applied and solidified a job for a high-end comic book distribution, or not distributor, but I guess a shop, but a more lucrative one than just like, you know, anybody just like walking out the store. His mom was literally telling me not long after he got the job, he was just sending a picture. He'd send a picture of this comic book to her, and he's like, "Look at this," and she's like, well, she's not into it. She's like, "What am I looking at?" And he's like, "This is a $40,000 comic book." And she's like, "How?" Everyone talks about getting to live their dream, but he took all that shit and it really wasn't shit to him because he enjoyed what he does. But now, like, he literally did it in a way to where he's like, the money wasn't about it, and then now, but I guess because he was so passionate about it, he's getting paid just hand over fist money for doing what he loves, comic books.
That's the best part. Hopefully one day, you know, we'll be there in the same situation with this and, you know, our other channels, whatever we got going on. I know Kenneth's got his own channel going on. I've got my own channel going on.
Yeah.
The podcast, I think Liz has her own thing going on. Have you started one?
I'm dabbling in a couple things.
There you go.
See, I think I just need to strap a camera to my chest and like live life because I really think a lot of people would tune in. The problem is I do like a bajillion different things because my attention span's like this big.
That's okay, and you can make so you could literally live your life by doing each of those things. Like you could do one thing one day, boom, that's a video. Boom, next thing, boom, new video. You could do how-to videos left and right because you're a how-to kind of guy. Like you know how to do everything.
It's weird.
Like your jug line stuff like that. People would watch that 100%. People do watch that. They watch it on YouTube all the time.
I my favorite thing about watching fishing on YouTube versus like a traditional fishing show.
What?
Well, the person creating the content knows that they're going to hook you. They want you to watch.
Yeah.
So they edit out all of the boring sitting, and so you just see monsters getting reeled in for like 15 minutes straight.
Yeah.
Like
for a long time.
That's so much better.
A couple years ago, that's all I watched was like just fishing videos left and right. I watched the Googan Squad. Those were my guys. I like those guys. Like that whole group of people. Like they were always entertaining. I haven't watched them in a long time, but I mean, I've changed what I'm kind of working on as far as like what I'm trying to develop. Back then I would I bought a kayak and I started kayak fishing, and which I still love, which I haven't been in a while, but that's what they were doing. They were doing a lot of that, and I was like, man, it's also one of my favorite pastimes, so I get it.
I think when it really comes down to it, the best way to apply all of the randomness into something that would make sense, I think, would be to have a YouTube channel for homesteading. Because if you learn how to fish well, that's something that would be good for a homesteader. Like, you're going and getting a food, to feed the people on your homestead.
That would be something you'd be good at.
Or like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like, that's the only angle I could see where it would all play out. Like, this is how you dig a tank. This is how irrigation works.
Yeah.
This is how you make a hoop house. This is how you fix a flat if you're out in the middle of nowhere and you don't have this, and this.
How-to videos, doesn't matter how ridiculous it is, minimum views you're gonna get is like 15,000. Like, minimum.
Crazy.
While I was doing my whole thing, trying to figure out, like, I just bought a webcam, right, which we're gonna start trying to work on this with sometimes. I was like, man, it's not showing up on my OBS system. Like, why is it not doing that? And then, sure enough, go to YouTube, how-to. Not very good quality or anything, but the dude had like 27,000 views on how to get your webcam set up on OBS. I was like, it's simple. He didn't even put a lot of money into it, but he showed 27,000 people how to do it. What a genius.
Yeah.
And it's not the only one. There's like several videos like that, but they all have thousands of views. It's just, how-tos are the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, they really are.
And you would be great at it, I swear, because you're meticulous.
I am. A lot of people don't think that whenever just like spending time around people, it's not until I'm like, do a physical thing, like put a pen to pad or like physically put my hands on it, and then someone goes, explain. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then they're like, wow, you looked at that 15 different things and when you did this one thing? Yes.
Yeah, but it's like that one day we were sitting out there looking at the truck and you were talking about everything y'all did to it and all that stuff and how it runs and how y'all changed all the interior and all that stuff. It's like, yeah, that makes sense. It's something you'd like to do and you're good at it.
Yeah. It's a curse and a blessing sometimes.
I believe it. I believe it. It's sure like little details probably bother the hell out of you, right?
I think I'm becoming OCD as I get older.
Yeah.
I used to like look at it and go, "Ah, I don't care."
Yeah.
But then when you're 20 and you look at something and almost any 20-year-old's gonna be like, "Ah, I don't care."
Yeah, screw it.
I'm 29 now and I'm starting to go, oh, hold on, wait a second.
That little stitching is kind of messed up.
So here's something I never did ever, and now it bothers me, right? And this is like the first time I did it, I was like, that was kind of weird. But the second time I did it, I was like, oh no, I'm becoming old.
Yeah.
When your light bulb goes out, and then you take the lens off of the light bulb, you put the new light bulb in, then you put the lens back over the cover.
Yeah.
Done that hundreds of times, right? Well, this particular time, about a year and a half ago, I take it down, and I set it down, and I take the light bulb out and put the new one in, and then I literally grab the lens, and I bring it up, and I look at, and I just get a glimpse of, like, some dust on the inside, and I was like, hold on a second, and I walked into the kitchen, and I sat it down on a towel, and I wiped down all of the outside and all of the inside, and, like, cleaned it off completely. Took 5 minutes just wiping the whole thing down to where it was like spotless, and then I put it back. Yeah. And now anything that comes off of a car, I used to be like, oh, I don't care, I just wanted to run. I'd take it off, fix it, put it back on. Now I fix it and I'm like, all right, well, we're gonna wash it in the parts, and then we're gonna put this cleaner on it, and then I'm gonna go ahead and knock this down and spray paint it so it doesn't move. So if you paint it, it doesn't rust. If it moves, you grease it. Pretty simple farm mechanics, but and it's just little stuff like that. I'm starting to become a little OCD about it.
Well, but the long term though, like, it makes it better when you fix those little details. Yeah,
this is the thing. Is like my grandpa always says, you're already here, you might as well do it.
Yeah.
So he's the type of person, if he does an oil change, he doesn't just do an oil change. Like, you go to like a quick lube or something, the oil comes out, the filter comes off, the new oil goes in, the new filter goes on.
Yeah.
Like clockwork, when he does anything, it's fuel filters, fuel additives, air filters, cabin filters. Half of the time, spark plug.
All the filters.
He does, any filter or additive that could go in or on when he's getting that oil change done, he's going to do every single thing. Every single time.
And he runs like a champ.
Oh, every time.
There you go.
I do that with my vehicles. I'm so glad that I learned that from him, though. They last forever.
That's the thing. Like, man, that made me think of something at work. Like, I put in a work order for maintenance come and fix something, right? And they're like, "You put in a work order for this?" I say, "Yeah." It was a belt that was ripping. They said, "Why don't you let it run to failure?" I said, "If it runs to failure, then we're going to be down a machine. And we're down a machine, then all this product goes over there. We don't have enough people to do that." And they're like, "Oh, back in this area, we always let it run to failure." I said, "Makes a lot of sense.
You can stop it down there."
Yeah. If we do that down here, we're screwed." And they're like, "Okay." Well, then they took it all apart and they took the belt off. That belt was shredded. Like, it wasn't going to make another half a shift. And I was like, "Thank you. This is why we do what we do." Like, just fix it. Don't let it run to failure.
Yeah. It's an interesting thing being, I don't know what the word is, the squeaky wheel, I guess. So many people have gotten caught up in being indifferent. They're just like, "Oh, well, I could make it my problem, but it's not my problem, so I'm not going to say anything." That's why so much stuff messes up. And I'm not just talking about like at work, but I'm just talking about anywhere. Just like, "Oh, I could probably do something if I spent 2 minutes on it, but that's not my problem."
Yeah.
And then it becomes a big problem because that's the social norm. Is you just let things stand out until they become a bigger issue.
Have you ever called out somebody in public doing that? Like, I don't know. So like,
My favorite person to be around whenever they do it is
Randy. I knew, because I was about to give an example of exactly what happened.
Dude, Randy calls some people out. I love it. God, I love it.
So we went to San Antonio. Yeah, San Antonio last 4th of July with him and his significant other. I don't know why I've said it so weird like that. Anyway, so we went to the mall right before we're heading back.
Yeah.
When we're checking things out, doing a little pop hunt and all that stuff, and just walking through all stores. Anyway, we're walking to our vehicle, and we're like, as we're walking up to our vehicle, there's this lady in her car, and as we're walking up, she rolls down her window and she starts throwing water bottles out the window.
Oh, perfect.
I know.
Perfect.
And I'm like, Randy looks at me. Did she really just do that? And I said, "Yep." So he walks up to her. He like looks in her window and he was like, "Are you fucking serious?" Sorry, Pam. And he takes the water bottles and he went to like give them back to her, and she just rolled up the window, and he was like, "Fucking hate people like that, man." He's like, he was about to like throw them back in her car. I was like, "I love you so much." I just started dying laughing. I was like, but that's things like when he sees stuff like that, he calls it out, and I love it.
Well, he is a very morally bound person.
Oh yeah.
He's just like, that's one thing. I honestly think that's why me and him have gotten along as well as we have through all the years that we've been together. Is I make myself see gray to adjust to the people around me a little bit, but I think in black and white. Randy, he thinks in black and white too. Yeah. That's why, like, it's either right or it's wrong. There's no, okay, well, this is acceptable then, but not now. No, like, stuff like that. Perfect example. We were at a restaurant one time. We were out on the deck. There was, like, 30 or 40 people out on this deck. And we're sitting here waiting on food. And this young woman pulls up, parks in a handicap spot, with no badges of any kind showing. She gets out and goes to run in, and I think me and Randy might have been like standing on the sidewalk or something. That's why we were like in front. I can't remember, but we were in front of the handicap spot. And as she goes to walk by, he goes, "Hey, you forgot to put your badge up for your handicap parking." And she's like, "Oh, I don't have one." He goes, "Well, that's not for you to park at." And she's like, "Oh, well, just be a minute." And he goes, "Yeah, man, if someone who needs that handicap spot, who has a handicap badge, pulls up right now, you're blocking their spot because you're just going to take a minute." And she, like, you could tell she was dying of embarrassment because there were so many people. Like, he wasn't polite about it. No, he was loud. No, he made sure everybody knew. And I don't even think I think she thought about continuing to walk in the restaurant, but she ended up just turning around and getting back in the car and like leaving.
Well, especially with stuff like that, it hits home. Like,
for
him, because we have family like that.
Yeah,
that spot. And when he sees something like that, he's gonna be like, "Oh, no!" Because like, what if our grandma needed that or whatever, right?
Yeah,
and she couldn't get it. He would be livid. So he's gonna treat that person the same way as if someone else's grandma needs it, right? So that's just the kind of person he is, and I love it.
Yeah,
he's good people's.
He's good people.
I'm still trying to get him on here, man. It just never lines up right. Well, I probably could have this week.
Brandy's got a million things going on all the time.
He's got a lot of things going on. He's got more so now. He just moved into his new house and all kinds of stuff going on. So, lots of stuff going on.
Lots of stuff.
Stuff going on.
We're putting ours on the market.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Well, if the plan is, without getting into too many details, with all the research and everything else, we could potentially move from this with the profit margins that we've made and some savings all lumped together, move closer to family, and be mortgage free.
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah, like own the deed to my house and my land.
Yeah, I understand that 100%.
I'm like, that'd be a good place to be sitting at 29 years old. So
yeah, well then after that, everything is just profit.
It's retirement.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
That's what I'm hoping.
So when are you retire? When are you going to plan on retiring?
I don't know that I'll ever actually retire.
You're not going to work there forever.
No, I don't know. It depends on the month, really. Mm-hmm. I swear, it's. I don't like to say drink the Kool-Aid, but like,
sounds like a cult thing.
Well, that's the thing is where we work. If you allow yourself to like drink the Kool-Aid, so to say, but like if you let yourself buy into the program and you put yourself into the program puts a lot back into you.
Oh yeah,
you get what you give to it.
Yeah,
and sometimes I'm there and I'm rocking and rolling, doing what I can, helping other people do what they can. Like Zig Ziglar says, if you help someone get everything that they need, you'll eventually get what what's coming to you.
Yeah.
And in a lot of those universal success mindsets, I do believe that the person that's doing it because they have a passion to do it is gonna do more than the person who's doing it to get paid to do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. I mean, just like your friend. That makes more sense.
Yeah, but like I don't really care for what we do as much as I care about seeing people develop and get where they're going. Mm-hmm. And if I have the ability to add value while I'm there, that's really gratifying to me. So even though I don't really like the details of what we do, like the actual interpersonal stuff and the team stuff, I absolutely love. So
like the development part.
Yeah. Like, and just really seeing what people prefer and like what they end up, turning out to be and how it affects them. I think that's super cool. You get to see a part of people's journey. So that's neat.
You can take someone from a new hire to a lead basically, and you're like, wow, I helped do that.
Yeah.
Now they are the best of the best.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, hey, I did it.
Yeah. But like, I absolutely love that side of it. So I can't say that I would put a number on it, but I don't know. I think if I had $500,000 in the bank, it might be hard to go to work, but at the same but at the same time, like I've always put money back no matter what. And so like when you get that saving muscle like ingrained in you, like it's really not about the money. Like it doesn't matter if you make $2 or $200. If I save my $2 and you spend your $200, I have more money than you.
Yeah. So, I mean, I get that.
I just like,
it's
I don't know.
It's a lot harder to do it though. You gotta live off of it.
Yeah, I can't say that there's a number on it, whether in years or in money. I don't know.
I would say if I had $500,000 in the bank, I would still be working. I would be working a lot less overtime.
Yeah.
I would minimize that to my best.
See, I like manufacturing. I like team settings. I think the only thing, like my dream job, I think is not far off from what I do now.
Really?
I think if I could do what I do, but for like a brewery on a day shift, that would be my dream job.
You hit it on the head there, day shift, man. Like I'm tired of this rotating crap. I have a little. I would say it was a 5-year plan. And then it turned into a 4-year plan, and now it's like a 3-year plan, and that 3-year plan has like a year and a half left. So if I'm not off of the rotating within the year and a half, I've got...
Do you have options?
I do have options.
That's good.
And I actually talked to a guy today about my options who wants me to come work with him, who is an 8 to 5. You know, it'd be a pay cut, but I'd prefer the day shift for the family time compared to what I have now, which would be, you know, the rotating, which I don't like.
You should have a conversation with your father. I say that because he has made decisions solely based on a life, in the past.
Yeah.
Because right now, the time's the only thing they ain't making any more of. So he's already recognized that, like, your lifestyle is way more important. I'm not going to say it's way more important than your income, but your lifestyle is definitely, it should be a priority over your income.
Yes.
You should never let money dictate how you are taking care of yourself, treating others, and any and everything that goes into.
Yeah, I think that was part of, like, that's kind of the big reason he came back to our job, was because he went to that
place
because, it was that, it was the day-based thing, but when he got there, he was still making good money. When he got there, it was a lot of outside work, and he has, like, extremely bad allergies, like, to where, he's gone to the hospital before over stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
So it got to the point where it was getting back up there to where he just couldn't function how he needs to. And so he started looking at his options. He made some connections, he knows people where we work now. They're like, here, we'll do this and take this. And he's like, deal. He's making good money, but that helps.
Yeah.
But like I think that was the original reason he left, was because he didn't want to rotate.
Yeah, he said it to everybody. He said, I want to spend time with my grandkids. I'm a grandfather now. Yeah, I don't want to have to juggle all of this stuff and miss out on my grandchildren.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm 26, and I've already realized where I'm at right now. I'm going to miss some of my favorite days with my child if I don't change something up.
Yeah.
Like that. She's got a couple years before she really gets involved in stuff. Like, she's about to turn 2. But even this point in time, as she's turning 2, this is where she's developing so much. You see her every day, and she's learning new words and learning new phrases. She's starting to sing.
You have 2 kids, right?
I have a second one on the way.
Oh, I don't know.
Cody has 2.
You and your brother.
Yeah, Cody has 2.
Sorry, that blends together sometimes.
No, that's cool.
So I'm gonna tell you some stats that make me a little sad.
Oh, you're already depressing me.
Yeah. So whenever your kid's 12 years old, you know how much time you spent with your kid, as far as on a grand scale of 100%?
No.
For between you and your child for your entire life, on average, by the time your kid's 12, you've already spent 75% of the time you will ever spend with your kid already.
Yeah, you're depressing me. Don't bring that shit up again.
Okay, there's another one.
But why would you do it? I just don't do it, man.
Because if you know that to be the fact that it is, then you can change your life to spend your time before you hit that mark.
I'm trying to...
And change your patterns so that you can do it. You can... That stat doesn't even have to apply to you. On average, whenever a kid is ready to move out, and they're legally an adult, 18 years old, done with high school, you have spent 90% of all the time you'll ever spend with your child when they're 18.
Where do these stats come from? I need a source.
I can't. I'm not fucking with this computer right now.
Don't touch it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do this whole episode all over again.
Nope.
But if that's the case,
man, that's depressing.
It is depressing. And think about
my parents.
Yeah.
Man, they need more time with me.
Exactly.
But their time with their grandkids, I think, is more important.
It really is.
Yeah, I think that's big.
Well, it's like Now, this is circulated on the internet 1,000,001 times, and I'm not trying to rip the guy off, but he hits a good point.
Yeah.
So they're sitting there and they're having the interview, and he asks one guy, he goes, "Hey, how old are your parents?" And he's like, "Oh, 70 and 72."
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, he was like 74, 75. And he was like, "So say that they're going to live until they're 80.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Yeah." And he goes, "How often do you see your parents?" And he goes, "Oh, a couple times a year." And he goes, "But realistically, they're probably going to, they're going to be close to passing away, if not passing away. So say you have 5 years left." And he goes, "Yeah, I have 5 years left." He goes, "Yeah, that's what most people would say.
Mm-hmm.
So you have 5 years left. But really,
you have
you have 8 to 10 more times to see your parents." And whenever you look at stuff like that, it really
Jesus Christ, you can make me
see. It's not supposed to be morbid though. It's supposed to be motivating.
Yeah, it's enlightening.
Yeah, it's one of those things that after we have this conversation, you're going to walk out of this room and you're going to call your parents and be like, "Hey, I just want you to know I love you."
Yeah. I probably will, actually.
But I'm just saying, those are the things that, we get caught up on bigger, better, more, and what gives us that is our job. So we drink the Kool-Aid a little bit more, and then we miss a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
We take just a little bit more money, but we lose a little bit more time.
Man, time. I've realized over the past 6 to 8 months, the time is so important.
The kids do that.
You're telling me, man. But first off, thinking about death, it makes me spiral. I don't like it. I go into the deepest, darkest part of just to keep it plain and simple. What's at the end of life? Is it nothing? Is it something? I don't know. And then I I just go down a rabbit hole of what happens when I die.
We view death very differently.
Yeah, exactly. Most people do view it differently from what I am. Most people are okay with it, and to where I'm okay, when I'm gone, is it just blackness, or am I going somewhere? Am I going up? Or am I going down? Okay. After that, what's up with my daughter? What's up with my my future son? What are they doing when I die? Mm-hmm. Are they missing me? Do they care at all? Do they not care? Are they happier? Are they sadder? That's the rabbit hole I jump into. That's why I try so hard to not think about death, because I don't like it.
Does it make you nervous?
It terrifies me.
But would you say nervous is one of those things that makes you?
Yeah,
feel?
I would say so.
There's a good way to rethink about it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think. I'm not going to get into my views on death yet. But so, what's the difference between nervous and excited?
I don't know.
Not much. So your blood pressure goes up, your heartbeats go up, you start sweating a little bit, you start feeling a little, I don't know, frisky is the right word, but a little jittery. Mm-hmm. So whenever you feel nervous, instead of saying, "Hey, I feel nervous," or "Hey, I'm getting terrified of this," say, "This is making me excited." A little positive spin.
I get what you're saying.
Okay, now
I get what you're saying, but
in the particular topic of death.
Yeah.
So I don't fear. I've accepted that there's nothing that I can do. Mm-hmm. There's no weights that I can lift. There's no cardio I can do. There's no foods that I can eat.
Yep.
There's nothing that I can do. And one day I will die, and there's nothing that I can do about it.
And I agree with that. I'm on you on that level.
But the biggest motivator is knowing that one day I'm going to die, and there isn't anything I can do about it. Mm-hmm. And whenever that gripping sensation gets a hold of you, it's wait, I can use this, and I can rise up above it and do so much more.
Yeah, and I get what you're saying. You use it as a motivator to be better. The dying part isn't the bad part for me. It's the after. I'm thinking about what happens after death. Is it just a black screen? Is there? I won't even know, because I'll be dead. There's nothing there. Do I go to heaven? Do I go to hell? Am I just somebody's the soil on the earth? Something's gonna eat me. So, scientific fact: we're made up of everything that's in dirt. Yeah.
All of the elements are the same.
Yeah.
Because from the dust we came, and to the dust we'll return.
But you see what I'm saying though? What worries me is what happens after death.
I don't know that I'd worry about it.
Yeah, no, you don't, but I do. We're two different people here.
Well, yeah. No, I'm just saying, first off, it just seems like a lot of time and energy that could be put to better use.
That's why I don't think about it. The only time I think about it is when it comes up.
You have nothing else to think about.
Mm-hmm.
You get
that's why I'm
put in a corner.
That's why I have so many hobbies. So I have a podcast now. I have a gaming channel now. I have a child. I have, a wife, and I got work, and I try to stay busy. But every now and then, it pops up, and I go down my rabbit hole, and I'm like, the worst part of it for me is there nothing after death? Is it just a black screen?
Maybe.
That freaks me out, man. Like, how Kenneth says he gets anxiety thinking about like how deep the ocean is and everything, and that's like me. It's like, "Ugh." That's me.
Maybe.
That's so nonchalant.
That could be the best sleep you could ever have. You like sleep?
But you never wake up. But you're not dreaming because your brain's not.
Here's the thing. Do you ever want to wake up from a good sleep? Like a good sleep?
I do. You know why?
You haven't been tired enough.
Debatable. I've been up for 36 hours straight with the pregnant woman. I've been pretty tired.
That's true.
Yeah. But you know why I want to wake up from that sleep? My kids, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, death freaks me out, and I don't like it. Okay.
I get it.
But it's an eventuality that we all have to deal with.
I think it's just another adventure. Like if I was really gonna get into what death could be, I really think that it's just something else that we don't understand because we're trapped in these particular vessels, our bodies.
Or we could be like.
But the thing is energy is neither created nor destroyed.
Yeah.
So there's something power in this vessel right now. If anything, what if all of our potential is being held back by our bodies?
I think it is 100%.
But think about it. At the time of death, you have a DMT burst in your brain, which is like the most intense thing that ever happens to a human psychologically.
Yeah.
And in that moment of
during death,
that energy leaving the body. It's like a prisoner walking out of a cell. Like it's like, okay, you've done your time. What's next?
Yeah, I wonder if that's what they like consider like your life flashing before your eyes. I wonder if that's why they like link those two, like that comment and that DMT trip you're talking about.
I think it is.
Yeah, that would make sense. And then also, like if you die and you have that moment, do you relive your life all over again? So you get another 80 years, but obviously you're dying. But it's like in your mind, you're reliving it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're going through 80 years of your life. It happens like that for other people, but for you, it's drawn out.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
It would be cool.
I would like that.
It would be interesting.
Yeah. And then, like, as you're going through it, you have no control because you already lived it. But you're like, man, I really messed up here. Or, man, that was a good decision. Well, keep on going. Keep on trucking along. And, man, you get to watch your kids. It's weird to think about, man.
Yeah. There's actually a theory that a high school kid was sharing with me when we were fishing one night.
Oh, man.
When I was on vacation. And he was like, and I don't want to lie here because I don't know, but it's like, so how this theory goes is you are basically the god of your own universe. And what happens is you live out a particular consciousness in your particular set of circumstances through your own eyes, like right in this moment.
Yeah.
And then you live out your entire life and then you die.
Yep.
And then you return to like, we wouldn't call it headquarters, but like we return back to the beginning. Yeah. And then this entity goes, okay, well, you lived out Colton Shaw's life, born in 1996. I'm just guessing. Yeah.
Until 2053.
Until whatever. Yeah. And then now you're going to go back and you're going to be a poor Chinese girl in 1886 or like something like that, or like, but
so you get to relive all the lives ever, basically.
Yeah. But this theory is that you can't evolve to you being the god of your own universe until you've lived every consciousness, every feeling of fear, hatred, love, you name it. Yeah. But you have to live every consciousness to understand every consciousness, and then whenever all those collective consciousnesses, come together at the time of death, it's like you're inputting data until you know where everything is. You know everything that happens. You know everything that will happen. You know everything that hasn't happened yet. But there's this weird, crazy theory.
Man, theories are crazy. Like
where you live every single life.
Yeah. That was another thing. I was like, well, what if Christianity has it wrong and we are like, instead of dying, going to heaven or hell, we're just reborn into a new person. We reincarnate. We don't know, man. And you don't know until you get there.
That's right.
That's crazy.
I think that going down that rabbit hole, I think is really important to always remember that getting caught up in that sometimes has a hard time. It has a hard time with people because a lot of people get stuck right there.
Yeah.
They don't have dominion over their own environment in this particular moment, in this particular time. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
Yeah.
I try not to think about that period.
There's so many people that they do only what they need to, or because that's all that they feel like they're capable of, and this because they put themselves in this own little box, or their phobias or fears. The only way to get past it is to live in it, and then you understand, oh, I'm in this place, I've felt the boundaries of it, I've felt the peaks and the valleys and everything in between. I'm now comfortable in this space. I can get over this.
Yeah.
But for a lot of people, they steer away from being uncomfortable. And whenever they can get comfortable being uncomfortable, those are the ones that really learn to have dominion over their environment. You know what I mean?
Kind of.
Kind of, sort of.
I kind of get it. I get it. I don't know.
There's so many things debilitate people.
Yeah.
I don't know, mental health is a real thing.
It is a real thing.
It's crazy how two people could have the same experience, and it messes one person up for it's a struggle that they have for the rest of their lives, and there's so many things that they have to do to overcome it, and someone else can just walk right through it and it's not nothing.
Yeah, and then they become, the next LeBron or whatever.
Yeah.
Whoever you want, Michael Jordan, whoever you want to compare him to. And the other person is living under a bridge because they can't function because it tore them apart so bad.
Perception is so important.
Oh yeah.
On how you take things in and digest them.
You gotta throw that in there.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know me. I can get a little hippy dippy, but
yeah, you're my hippie friend.
I don't know.
I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
I enjoy some of that. Like sometimes,
sometimes. Going down the rabbit hole can be fun.
Yeah, as long as it's not that rabbit hole. I don't like that rabbit hole. That rabbit hole takes me into depression sometimes. I don't like it.
Yeah.
And I don't typically deal with that, but when I get there, I'm like,
I can't do it.
It's how I feel, man. It really is how I feel.
I don't know. My thoughts on death has changed a lot.
Yeah, you almost died, man.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I did almost die.
We need to do another episode like that.
We haven't talked about that at all.
I know. Ever since that we lost that one episode, ever since the first time Jordan was on here, we talked about his near-death experience, which was amazing to hear about, by the way. I'm sorry you had to live through it, but I was super happy to hear about it because it was super intriguing and interesting and just blew my mind. Haven't talked about it once.
Surviving death was the best gift I was ever given.
Oh, that and, the one between your legs.
Yeah, I knew it was coming.
I had to do it. Kenneth wasn't here,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you walk around with a tree trunk between your legs. It is what it is. Sorry, Pam.
You want to call it?
How far have we been?
All right, we're at 53 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
That's been a very interesting, I've enjoyed this. This has been nice.
Yeah.
Who says we need Kenneth? Oh, I got one.
You got a dad joke on deck?
Dad joke. I was ready for this.
Let's hear the dad joke.
All right. Jordan.
Yes.
Why did the dog not want to go to wrestling school?
I don't know why.
Because he was a boxer. Got him. Suck it, Kenneth. You don't have to be here for all the best dad jokes.
Gosh, that one was pretty cheesy.
It was good though, right?
Yeah.
Hit it on the nose.
It was good. That was dad joke material.
That was dad joke material. I like it.
All right, sign us out, Ken.
All right, guys. That's been another episode of Last Minute Lab. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Please comment, follow, like, subscribe, all that goodness. Jordan, you got anything, bud?
Hey, buy a t-shirt.
Oh, buy a t-shirt. We got plenty of t-shirts.
Yeah.
Check it out. Let us know. Hit us up in our DMs on Instagram.
There you go.
Peace out, everybody.
Peace out.